Okay, I'm back and I decided I'm going to go ahead and go through my tapping sequence with you because I was going to do it anyway and I mentioned I was going to offer it to you. So here we go. This is how I do tapping. Again, I studied energy psychology, which is a little bit of a variation of just direct EFT, but I encourage you to definitely look at Brad Yates's work because he's been putting good stuff out there for years. This is just sharing a tool that I use personally and sometimes with my clients if the need arises. And it's a real go-to tool when you are triggered because tapping helps us um, initiate the parasympathetic response. When we're in fear, the amygdala center of the brain, the amygdala is this little almond shaped part of our brain that I think in Greek means almond, amygdala. And when we get triggered, that's what it's like sets off an alarm, puts us into fight, flight, or freeze. Okay. So this technique actually helps calm the amygdala. It helps us regulate. It helps us just kind of take a bath of calming energy, and it helps take the charge off of whatever got triggered, whatever belief, whatever association. Remember, in the subconscious mind, it's a quick, just 1 second, 2 seconds, that something happens in the world that you're triggered, and it's like it goes through all the files in your mind that it's associated with, that's familiar and unfinished business perhaps, or where that supercharged energy still lives inside of you. If something happens and you're triggered, that means that there's something connected inward to you. This is why it's important to do our inner work. I like to use this analogy. It's like if somebody had a cord they wanted to plug in, but there's no outlet, they can't plug into that outlet, right? Well, we need to heal our outlets so that people can't plug into us and trigger us, right? So I'm going to go through the way I do a tapping sequence. I'm going to turn my music down a little bit here. Hopefully it's not too loud. And I'd be curious to know how many of you tap. Comment below. Let me know. And let me know how this experience is for you. As I often share, I take the tools that I learn and then I kind of put my own little special blend on them. So I'm going to go through tapping, and then I'm going to do the way that I always end when I tap and when I teach tapping is to do what's called the over energy corrector. And I'll get there in a moment. So follow along as best as you can. Doesn't have to be exact. Let's let go of exactly right or perfect. It's just practice and progress. Okay. So as I mentioned in the other video, I do the two finger tapping, which we're going to do in a moment. A little different than Brad Yates. So we're going to start. The first thing is just to assess where you are. Just breathe into your body, and you can put your hand over your heart and notice. I like to use the scale, and this is a technique in EFT and energy psychology to kind of assess where you're at on a scale of 1 to 10. Let's go ahead and just work with fear, okay? Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 super high, 1 I'm doing okay. Feel pretty good, right? So just get that assessment. Just breathe in, notice. I'm doing much better than I was earlier. I'd say I'm probably at a 4, but earlier I was probably at a 6, maybe even a 7. So just assess where you're at, okay? And then we're going to start with, a lot of times with tapping, I'm going to be generalized with fear, but if I was working with you directly, we would dial into the belief that's really activated. Fear oftentimes could be, I don't feel safe, because a lot of people are sort of overwhelmed, disheartened, in a fear response because of the election. You could pick your own phrase. It's called a setup phrase. I'm just going to go with just fear, general fear. Okay, let's just do that. What I like to do, and what you'll notice when I'm tapping, is we sort of lean into the energy more. And so I'm going to use the backdrop of the election since it's affecting us all, but I'm going to try to do it in a neutral way where I'm not, on either side. I'm just offering this tool for anyone who needs it because we all need to heal. So what you'll notice, and when I first learned tapping, quite honestly, when I first saw it about 19 years ago, I thought this is cuckoo and I'm never going to do that. It looks really weird, and it does, but it helps so much. And you can go ahead and Google more information. I'm not going to get into the science and how it works right now, but you lean into that negative charge so you can take the charge off or dissolve it, right? And then we're going to start putting some empowering statements in to kind of give that reference to your mind, right? To neutralize the negative response, the negative energy, and we're going to put in something supportive and soul nurturing that will hold you, and sort of feeding the brain, feeding the mind with something that will help you. Like that old story of the two wolves. I'm not going to tell that story right now. Go Google it. Wonderful classic story of the two wolves. And the question is, which one do you feed? So we're going to, honor that we're triggered, and we're going to work with that first, neutralize that, and then feed the beliefs, the energy that we want to have inside this body mind system where we live, where we have our experiences. And we want to regulate that and set our thermostat on a nice, supportive and inner environment that allows us to be with what is in a way where we can navigate it, we can move through, we've got this. Okay, so first thing is you're going to put your hand kind of over your heart. We're going to press into, it's called the neurolymphatic reflex point, but the way that's most commonly referred to is the tender spot. And if you move in, I don't know if you can see my hand, if you move in with your middle finger a little bit into that area, you will find it's kind of a tender area, right? You should feel a little bit of a tenderness when you push in there. So in a clockwise motion, in a circular motion, you're going to just rub on that area, and you're going to repeat after me. Ready? Here we go. So, even though I am triggered with fear, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself, and I now choose to feel calm and trusting. Okay, so just breathe into that, feel into that. That's going to be our setup statement. Okay, even though I'm triggered in fear, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. Now, I want to pause here for a moment because some people have a challenge saying that statement. So if it works better, sometimes people start to cry right here, and that's okay. It just shows you that there's a deficit of being able to offer self-love, and that's okay. You're just noticing what arises so that you can heal that, right? And I do believe that the first time I saw this, Dorothy Hover Kramer, my teacher, was demonstrating this, and I do recall bursting into tears. So you're not alone. You're okay. You feel some tears. That's a good thing. Okay, so let's start again. Even though I'm experiencing some fear, or I'm triggered in fear, if you can't say the statement, just add willingness. Willingness is that step that we can get closer to what we're trying to create. Willing to forgive, willing to love, whatever. We're going to use that here. So even though I have the experience of fear, I deeply and profoundly am willing to love and accept myself. And now choose calm and trusting energy. Okay? So just take a breath there and just notice even that simple setup statement is going to help you start to calm, right? So now I said we're going to do the two finger techniques. We're going to go through the sequence. I told you it looks weird. I promise you it works. Okay. So it took some convincing by seeing that Wayne Dyer went into tapping, and another teacher of mine, Iyanla Vincent. When I saw them doing that, I was like, okay, they've checked it out. I trust them. I'm going to trust this process. I started doing it more and found such incredible benefits. It's a quick reset. Okay. So we start in between the eyebrows here. Okay. Right here. Okay. So, and you're going to just repeat after me or say your own words, but I'll just guide you through my process because I need this. Wow, I really felt that earlier today when I looked at that post. I felt fear in my body. I felt uncomfortable. I felt sad. I felt scared. I felt a reaction. I was even angry. Yep, that's all connected to fear. I felt fear. I'm going to go on the side of the temples right here. Again, I'm really personalizing this to me. I hope that I really have a sense that you might relate to this, because we're all in this, right, experiencing this intense energy right now. So, but again, use your own words. I'm just giving you an example, and this is how I would do it for myself, and am doing it for myself. So look silly with me. Post a picture in the comments of yourself tapping. So, yep, I'm acknowledging that fear. I'm acknowledging that I got triggered. And I'm acknowledging that this trigger is connected to other things. It's connected to feeling sad that we're so divided. It's connected to fear that we're so divided. It's connected to anger that people aren't listening to one another. It's connected to frustration to hear people shaming other people and arguing. Oh, yes. Oh, arguing. I'm really done with arguing. I'm going to go under the eyes. When I experience arguing, I really feel a tightness in my body. I feel that fear. And I feel myself getting pulled into the energy of fighting back or opposition. That's not who I am. That's not what I choose. It doesn't feel good. It's not what I desire. I desire to feel centered and grounded and trusting. I desire to feel safe. And we're going to go on the chin. Yeah, that's what I want. I want to feel safe inside my body. I want to feel trust inside my experience. I want to know that it's okay, that I'm okay, that everything is okay. Ah, yes, even just saying those words, I start to feel better. I don't need to hold this fear. It's not helping me. It's not helping anyone else. Now we're going to go on the collarbone, just right about here. Fear doesn't serve me nor anyone else. In fact, it constricts me, it limits me, it makes me more reactive and rigid, and that's not who I am. It's not who I choose to be. I choose to experience love. Yeah, loving myself, loving this moment, even loving the person who triggered me. That's the place I want to practice. That's more like my authentic self. That's who I truly am. My greatest wish is that we all wake up to who we truly are, that we stop the fighting, that we start just accepting and loving and listening and experiencing more compassion for self and others. Oh yes, that feels really good to think about having more compassion for myself and for others. I feel my entire body relax. I feel hope rising. I feel love expanding. That feels really good. Okay, this is the really weird one. I can't remember which meridian this is. It's been such a long time since I've been doing this, but it's kind of like, it's just women where your bra strap is, man just kind of where your arms go like this. I always think of this as the monkey tapping sequence right here, but you're just tapping into that area there. I used to remember all the meridians, and I don't. Right now it's not important, but you could look it up. Every place we're tapping on a meridian, okay? So, gosh, just thinking about love, I already feel better. What's going to be different? Holding so much love and trust within my body that nothing anyone says or does triggers me. That's going to feel really good. In fact, it feels good right now. I feel it now. And then we're going to do the karate chop. My goodness, just shifting my awareness to love from fear changes everything on the inner. Helps me change my perspective, how I feel. Feels better. I feel calmer right now. In fact, I just want to choose love for all. That's a really big step, I know, for some. Try it on. Or try on choosing to feel trusting. Or try on choosing to feel safe, no matter what. Safe in your body, safe in your being, okay? Choosing that, okay? So now, I like to always shake that out right after. Just imagine we're just shaking off whatever we kind of neutralized and dissolved, get it out so that we can really center and anchor into the inner state that we want to experience and express from. Okay, so this is going to be hard to see, so I'm going to walk you through it. You're going to cross your right ankle over your left ankle, and your left, it's going to be opposite. So your left wrist over your right wrist, clasp here. Okay, and then you're going to go in like this. This is called the it's called the over energy corrector. Over energy, when you're overstimulated, when you're stressed, when you're in fear, and it just neutralizes, and it's really calming. It's wonderful. So let me do that one more time, the setup, and then I'll go into the sequence. So you're going to cross your right ankle over your left ankle and your left wrist over your right wrist, opposites, right? So that we are doing a cross circuit through all the meridians, and then clasp like this, bringing that close to your chest if you can. If you have any tenderness in your arms, just do the best you can. Don't force this position, okay? So we're going to go in with the statement now that I've shifted from fear to I'm choosing love and I'm choosing trust, okay? And you can use your own affirmative statement, empowering statement. Think of it as the phrase that your mind is going to be connected to. What we think about generates our emotions. That will create an emotional response that feels more supportive for you, okay? And when we do this, when we close our eyes and we think that thought, you're going to breathe in. And when you breathe in, you bring your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And when you exhale, you drop your tongue to the bottom of your teeth. I can't really show you this. You're going to just have to try this and see what it feels like. Bottom of your teeth. Breathe in, roof of your mouth, exhale, and it drops down, tongue to the bottom of your teeth. I hope that makes sense. Okay, here we go. So breathing in, notice already a shift within your inner experience. You're feeling a little bit more calm, a little more peaceful. And so I'm going to take that thought in and just meditate on that. If I were working with a client, I would repeat over and over again this healing statement or other statements that are empowering. So I'm going to just set that up, and then I'll say a few things for you and just practice that breathing, okay? So just breathing in, tongue up to the roof of the mouth. I am choosing love, and in this space of love, I feel calmer. I feel more hope. I feel trusting. I feel okay. I feel better than okay. I feel and know that all is okay and all will be okay. So use whatever statements are empowering to you. Just think them. And in addition to just thinking them, envision what that looks like and will be like, holding that belief as you move through your day, as you interact with others, even if you're on Facebook. Okay? This is your choice. This is where claiming an inner space that is supportive. Okay? So staying in this breathing sequence, breathing in. Oh, it feels so good to have love flowing through my body, to be expanded in possibilities that love and acceptance provides. I can think more clearly, have more capacity to navigate what is feeling this way. I'm able to see from a higher perspective. I'm able to remember other times that I had to move through challenging times, and in that space, I love that I got through, and I love the strengths I cultivated, and I love that this is the journey of life. Moving through challenging times to cultivate strengths, to grow our purpose, to bring forward our potential. That feels good to think that too, doesn't it? So I think of this technique as kind of like we are setting the thermostat in our inner house where our soul lives, where we have our being. And we've cleared out some fear, and we're really fluffing up the pillows in the house. We're lighting candles. we've got their scented candles and their wonderful smell that smells so good and further enhances feeling calm and feeling good. Maybe you got a fire going. Maybe you can hear rain on the rooftop or wind blowing through the trees, sounds that make you realize, oh, in this moment all is well. All is well. And typically when we do this technique, and if I'm doing this technique with a client, at some point, the client, or when I'm doing it just without having to walk other people through it, you'll feel a physiological response. Either your body will flush, you'll feel warmer, you'll feel tingly. Something will happen that tells you physiologically the shift has occurred. And then you just notice how good you feel. And I hope that right now, just this little technique helped you shift and feel more capacity to be with what is, to really just remember that we don't have control of what's happening in the world, but we do have control of what's happening in our inner worlds. And when we support ourselves with these transformational tools, even better. Okay? So I hope this helped you. I want to hear what it was like for you. Comment. And yeah, I want to hear from you. And set up your camera and take a selfie of you trying to tap. I want to see that too. All right. From my heart to yours, I send you this offering. May it help you. And, may the other tools I offer support you as well. You got to fill up your basket of goodies to support yourself through this time. There's a lot going on. And we're going to get through. Okay. Much love. Take good care. Until next time.